Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you how to divide using long division method with one digit divisor. Let's get started. Okay, so let's say we have here 245 divided by 7. So in long division method, we follow the steps DMSB or divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then repeat. I used to replace it with a funny acronym like Dead Monkey Smells Bad so that my students can easily remember it. Okay, let's begin. First, you try dividing the first digit of the dividend by 7. In this case, we have 2. But we cannot get a group of 7 from 2 because 2 is smaller than 7. So we have to include the next digit, which is 4. So now we've got here 24 divided by 7. So you have to think, how many groups of 7 are there in 24? We know that 7 times 3 is equal to 21, and that 7 times 4 is equal to 28. So we won't be able to get 4 groups of 7 from 24 because that's going to be more than 24. So we can only get 3 groups of 7, which is 21. So again, 24 divided by 7, so that is 3. Now that we're done with the first step, we're going to go ahead and do the second, which is M multiply. So 3 times 7, that is 21. And we have to write the answer here underneath 24. So 3 times 7, that is 21. After that, we're going to do the third step now, which is S, subtract. So we will subtract 21 from 24. So let's first subtract 4 minus 1, that is 3, and 2 minus 2, that's going to be 0. So we're done with the third. And now the fourth step will be bring down. So we've got here the last remaining digit, which is 5. So we're going to go ahead and bring it down. So let's bring down 5 here. So now we've only got 35 left. So what we're going to do now is we're going to repeat. We're going back to the first step again, which is divide. So we're going to divide 35 by 7. So let's divide 35 by 7. How many groups of 7 are there in 35? In 7 times table, we know that 7 times 5 is actually equal to 35. So there are 5 groups of 7 and 35. So we divide again 35 by 7. So we will be able to get 5. So we're done with the first step again. We move on to the next step, which is multiply. So 5 and 7, 5 times 7, that is 35. We write the answer here underneath 35. Done with the next step. Now the next step is to subtract. So 35 minus 35. 5 minus 5 is 0 and 3 minus 3 is 0. And we don't have any more number to bring down. So that's it. Our quotient is 35. So we can write here 245 divided by 7 is equal to 35. Okay, so now let's try with another problem. Let's divide 378 by 5. We're going to follow again the same steps, DMSB, divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So first, you need to look at the first digit in the dividend, which is 3. How many groups of 5 are there in 3? So there isn't. So let's move on and include the next digit, which is 7. And now we've got 37 divided by 5. How many groups of 5 are there in 37? So here I have written down the tables of 5 from 1 to 9 so that it's going to be easier for us to determine how many groups of 5 are there in 37. So you will notice here that there are two numbers closer to 37, which is 35 and 40. So we cannot go over 35. That is 40, and that's going to be bigger than our dividend, which is 37. So we will be able to get 7 groups of 5, and that is 35. So 37 divided by 5 is actually equal to 7. So now we're done with the first step. Next step is to multiply. So we're going to multiply 7 and 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. We're done with multiply. Next is to subtract. So 37 minus 35. First we subtract 5 from 7. That is 2. And 3 minus 3 is 0. Now our next step is to bring down. So we're going to bring down 8. Okay, after you finish all the 4 steps, what we're going to do is to repeat. So we're going back again to division. So we will divide 28 by 5. How many groups of 5 are there in 28? So looking at the 5 times table, we will only get 5 groups of 5, which is 25. So let's do again the first step, which is divide. So 28 divided by 5 is 5. Let's write it here above 8. And now that we're done with the first, let's go ahead and multiply. So 5 times 5, that is 25. Let's write it underneath 28. So finish with multiplying. Now let's subtract 28 minus 25. 8 minus 5 is equal to 3, and 2 minus 2 is actually equal to 0. Okay, so we don't have any more number to bring down. So what we have left here is only 3, and we can no longer divide 3 by 5. So our answer is 75 remainder 3. So we're going to just write here 75 R 3 or 75 remainder 3. We can also write 75 remainder 3 in fraction as 75, that is our whole number. Our remainder will be our numerator, and our divisor will be our denominator, which is 5. So our answer is 75 remainder 3, or we can write it in fraction as 75 and 3/5. So that is how we divide using the long division method with a single digit divisor. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again in my next video. Bye!